Countdown to Zero is another example. So Countdown to Zero is about nuclear disarmament and the danger of nuclear weapons. Kind of a common theme. It's really hard to find somebody that's for nuclear weapons. But there were 7 senators when New START, the ratification of the second START treaty that would again reduce the arsenals in the United States and in Russia, that 7 senators were unsure how they're going to vote. And that was the difference between ratification and failure of the United States ratifying the treaty and it becoming effective. So we focused all the attention around the film on those 7 senators, asking them. We did the screenings there. Everything was in those 7 states, and 6 of the 7 voted for it and passed. And again, this is the idea of giving something specific, tangible, that they can see right in front of them that they want to activate on. So, next thing, solve a problem, another issue. We found a great amount of traction when you're trying to establish a relationship from the standpoint of connecting with a customer and audience or people being involved, when you help find a solution to something that doesn't currently exist. Because they like the idea of not just helping, but just, wow, there's a white space there and I can help fill it. So, with a place at the table, which is a film that looks at the 50 million people in a certain country that are food insecure or hungry, that's every night, 50 million people, the country's the United States, and shining a light on a problem that actually was almost once corrected back in the 70s. And we almost eliminated hunger in the United States, and it's now back up to 50 million, and we can do something about it. And so what we wanted to do was give a solution to some problems that existed in the marketplace that we knew that people could rally around. So one is, we created a national database. We found out, we didn't learn this, the NGOs and nonprofits taught us that, you probably seek to understand, taught us that a food bank in one location could have so much food that it throws it out every day or turns away the deliveries. And 4 blocks away is another food bank that runs out every day. So we created a national database website that you plug in what food you need and what food you have extra, in both suppliers and distributors, or people delivering food can now direct the food to the locations that need the food and buy food items. And the other piece we did is we looked at legislation which just passed in the first state, our goal is to pass across the country, that there's a gap between what the feds pay for in free lunch programs and what's left. And those kids, you remember, they fall off SNAP and everything after $1 of eligibility. And so what happens to those kids is they don't eat. And so what the good people of West Virginia did said, those kids will fund. Our state will pick up the donut, the gap. And now 3 others, that was just 3 weeks ago, and 3 other states are now working to introduce that legislation. So again, it's finding a solution to something. With a visitor, which looked at detainees, we found out that detainees don't necessarily, they don't have the resources, finances to even have representation to understand the process of what's happening. And so we did 2 things. We created a national database of case studies, so representatives for them could actually say, hey, I can cite a case study that shows this is how you would handle this. And 2, we started training lawyers. And we joined with Melvin and Myers, and that program now, we've just trained our 300th lawyer, who then goes out and does pro bono work in the community helping detainees. So again, it's always looking for a way to solve a problem that creates a stickiness and builds brand equity. Here's a perfect example about a brand that we have a very close relationship with because they are one of the best CSR brands in the business as far as I'm concerned.
No matter what you want to do, Members Project from American Express and Take Part can help you get there. Vote, volunteer, or donate at membersproject.com.
By the way, that